What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. And with that, let's jump into our first topic. But first,
Cheers. So this week, I know that they episode dumped the entire season, but we've kind of been doing them in little blocks, so we're going to talk about the last few episodes of Fallout on Amazon Prime Video. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, I mean, you've had weeks too at this point in time, but we get it, life is whatever. That's enough time. Just as a reminder, for a little disclaimer, Jake hasn't played any of the games, and I have played very little of the video games. Basically, my roommate in college had the game, and I played a little. And then we stopped living together, so I didn't keep playing it. I love this show. Like, I think that's pretty well established over the past couple of weeks that we've been talking about this, but this show is so rad.
yeah. Well, and then we're going to move on to our next... No, I'm just kidding.
Go watch it.
Sorry. You like paused like you wanted me to say something, and I was like, oh, I'm going to fuck with them. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of... I finished it like a week ago now at this point. So it kind of blurs together a little bit on which details are which and which episode is which. But there are some big details that should be talked about. One being the fucking douchebag that's pretending to be Titan.
Yeah, Maximus.
Maximus. They're like trying now in the end of the back end of this season. They're like trying to make him have like a redeeming quality, but it's like you guys already like fucked this character up so bad, and like that's probably how it's supposed to be. I'm fine with that. I'm fine not liking his character, but I really don't like his character. And they're like, hey, check out this redeeming quality that he has last minute, and you're like, nope, not enough.
Yeah.
Still don't like him.
And the last few episodes of the season, they really lean into kind of like the fourth main storyline, which is of Norman, Lucy's brother, as he's kind of uncovering what really happened in the vaults. Yeah?
He's from Hannah, Montana. Nicole cleared it up for me.
Is he Rico?
I have no fucking clue. Never watched it, but
Was that his
Nicole watched it because she is a little younger than me. And yeah, she said he's from Hannah, Montana.
Oh my god, it is Rico Suave. Moises Arias.
His name is Rico Suave in the show.
Yeah.
Not racist at all, Disney. Jeez.
I mean,
But
Disney Channel. Come on.
yeah. Did Dan Schneider have anything to do with that show?
No, there wasn't a lot of feet involved in that. So
Yay! Good job. So those kids are rape free. That's awesome. Are grape free. You can edit the
you
first word out
you
just in
tried.
case.
Yeah. Fuck.
Anyways, sorry. Yes, that kid is from Hannah, Montana. Back to what you were
Wow.
saying. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, but he kind of gets his own like main storyline of him exploring Vault 32, seeing that the people there have been dead for a long time, kind of went psycho and killed themselves and each other. I mean, there's literally a dude's body that they find where he's holding a butter knife that he shoved into a toaster.
Yeah.
Um,
But the Roomba robot,
explain this because I don't remember it too well, and you brought it up.
there's a robot connected to a Roomba. Is it Roomba or Rumba? Roomba? Roomba?
The vacuum?
Yeah.
I think it's Roomba.
Yeah. So there's a robot attached to this Roomba, and it literally, because, and I'm not making a joke here, my girlfriend is deaf, so we watch everything with the subtitles on, and it's literally named uh Robot on Roomba in the subtitles. And it's like super slow, and it's like trying to like stab Norm like with
Uh,
the, now you remember?
when he gets to Vault 31, right?
Yeah.
And
That's in the three episodes we're talking about, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank God. I was like, fuck, did I fuck it up? Yeah, and it's like, hold still. I need to sedate you. And he just kind of like steps to the side so it can't get him because it can't move until it hits something and then turns around. Like, it's
uh,
fucking hilarious. Yeah. Little details in the show like that are,
yeah, and we find out what is in Vault 31 because they hint that all the leaders of Vault 32 and 33 have been part of the exchange between vaults, so that to avoid
hmm,
inbreeding. But all the people from 31 are the really rich people that have just been in like cryostasis. I'm sure Walt Disney was there. Um, just they get a
I got it.
thank you. A lot of our younger listeners won't, uh, which is just hilarious. Um, but they've just been basically waiting on ice, and then every so often they're awoken to take lead and be the 1% of the 100 people. There's like
Which
a
ex
100 people in each vault. Yeah.
Yeah. Which explains the, I mean, I'm kind of maybe jumping around a little bit here, but the ghoul, when he finally comes face to face with
Moldaver.
Moldaver, he said, he puts a gun in her face and is like, "Where the fuck is my family?" And it's like, it's been 200 years, bro. What do you mean? But now, because I think we talked about it last week when we were like, how the fuck would his or maybe we talked about it off camera and we're like, how the fuck would his family even be alive? And
Yeah.
then when we finished it, we were like, oh shit, okay, they're freezing people. So
Mm-hmm.
his wife and daughter are probably alive, which we see a scene at the very end. We'll get to that, but I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it makes sense that his wife and kid would still be alive because I think that, and this is speculation at this point in time, but we see in one of the episodes he's very against going into the vaults because they can't bring their family dog, and it's like his daughter's best friend,
Hmm.
and he loves the dog. Um, so it makes sense why he'd be resistant to go with them. to the vault
Yeah.
because of who he was before he became a ghoul and that his morality.
It's really nice because he's a very likable character prior to the Fallout, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
his
just kidding.
yeah, exactly. He's a very likable character. Like he's got integrity even though he's kind of made fun of for being like an actor and like blah 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 blah. And then now 200 years later, he's my favorite character in the show because is he a huggable teddy bear kind of guy? No. But that's why I like him. He's brutal. He's cool looking. And I don't know if I've said this before. I've said it every week. I love Walton Goggins.
Yeah,
Love Walton Goggins. He always plays the most obscure roles, and I love it.
I think that's just because he is just such a rad person. Like you see interviews with him, and he's just so personable, so likable.
I gotta say this about the guy. He's got probably, and this is maybe whatever, I don't know. He's got like the straightest teeth ever.
I
Ever.
have to assume that they're just really well done veneers,
I don't know,
but I
man.
don't know.
I've seen him in a lot of stuff for a long time, and it hasn't changed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Even when he was in Sons of Anarchy. And if you know who he played in I don't want to say he played
the
a
Yahtzee,
non, a what?
a Yahtzee,
No, he played a female, how do I word this right? He
a
played
trans individual.
a trans individual that was a prostitute that one of the main characters of the show falls in love with.
Aw, happy for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. It was adorable. I love Walton Goggins. Anyways,
Yeah.
my bad. We're trailing. We're trailing today. I'm sorry.
Well, let's get back to you mentioned that we get a glimpse of something at the end of the last episode.
Well, there's a lot leading up to that. So one, Lucy's mother is alive-ish, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
Moldaver has her mom's zombie body in
that's
her like
right.
office. Yeah.
Yeah,
So she is
she
a zombie, but
Gould.
and I don't know if it's like a love thing. Were they in love? I don't know. Moldaver and her mom.
I
Was
don't
that
know.
they
I
show
don't.
like flashbacks of like them together, but they don't show them like being intimate or anything. So it makes me curious, like, one, was that a thing? And two, if that wasn't a thing, why the fuck did she keep her zombie body alive? I don't get it.
Could have been. They could have just been best friends. I remember that now. It's been a while because I finished the show about a week before you did.
Yeah.
Um, they could have just been best friends. Or they could have been lovers,
I mean,
but
you're one
they.
of my best friends, and if you turned into a zombie, I would kill you for sure.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Um, Same, by the way. That is if you didn't overpower me first. Um, the latter. What?
What?
Go watch this on YouTube.
What?
It's family friendly, I promise. Fuck. Um, it could have been a handful of things, or she just kept her ghouled out zombie body as like part of the long game for a bargaining chip,
I don't think so.
knowing that
I'm,
who knows.
if you know, let us know, because we don't know. You know?
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Take it easy, J-Lo.
Just sometimes I just like to have my hair like this to remind me of when I was running through the block. What block, J-Lo?
I
Uh,
was going with the my go-to order at the bodega was blah 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 and an orange drink. If you know, you know.
We're so off topic.
Fuck!
I love it though.
I'm
Um,
so sorry. I don't know why. I think it's because we got drunk before we started recording.
yeah, usually it happens while we're
While
recording.
we're recording.
Yeah,
And yeah,
we
I'm a
had a,
little
we had
tipsy.
a lot of technical difficulties um, before we started recording. This
Fuck.
show is rad, but at the end of the final episode, we do get a glimpse of a cityscape in the distance. And for those that haven't played the games, it is New Las Vegas, or just called New Vegas.
Which is maybe Vault 1.
I don't know. That's what
Because,
is wild because Vault 33 obviously was right outside of like the Santa Monica Pier.
yeah, the
But it,
Boulevard, you know.
yeah, Broken Dreams? Yeah, heard of
Santa
it.
Monica Boulevard. I was going Sheryl Crow, but you went
Oh,
Green Day,
Green Day.
which
Yeah,
is way cooler than where I went.
more age appropriate, more on brand. Yeah,
But I think this is just a theory because again, I haven't played the games. I think this is where the ghoul's family probably is because
yeah,
his wife was like high up in the program for the vaults, so they probably would have went into like Vault 1. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
think that's why I mean, he's like,
It,
where the fuck is my family? I'm guessing there.
yeah, and they also make a point of mentioning that the vaults are always like in some form of cluster,
Hmm.
spread throughout the country, whatever before the war happened. But each like cluster of vaults had their own unique like cultural experiment that they were trying to do,
Hmm.
whether it
Yeah.
was crops and agriculture.
Interspecies splicing.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Wasn't there like a weird shit like that? I thought there was.
There,
Am I tripping? There
I'm
definitely was.
we saw some weird shit going down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but like each group of vaults had their own thing going on. And like the NCR, the New California Republic, might not be completely gone either. So we might see more of that. But what's cool is that we got a glimpse of Vegas that's been barricaded, and those that have played Fallout New Vegas knows that the city is still kind of operational on the surface as well. So does
Yeah.
that make New Vegas canon in the game world? Because that was always kind of like an outlier. Who knows? We'll have to wait to see. Because the game developers have been a huge part of the show. We'll just have to see what becomes real.
The only thing that I know as someone who didn't play the games is that the temperature of Vegas does not change. It is hot. Speaking of hot, we're gonna go into our first sponsor spot.
I thought you had actually something to add.
No, fuck no, I didn't play the game. I don't know shit about it. Uh, how would I compare anything to the show from the game? I don't know. But Vegas is hot. It's always hot. Whether it's a nuclear fallout, which may even make it hotter. I don't know. The only thing hotter than that is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, I'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods. adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
Come on. That was funny, damn it.
I'm going to cut it at the first one. All right, nerds. Now it's time for a segment that we've been running for a few weeks called Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Jake and is provided by Marty over at Digicat Tech. For all of your digital marketing and web development needs, reach out to Marty at Digicat Tech. If you'd like to submit a question and try and stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Use our contact form and just mention who the question is for. It goes to a third party so we don't get spoiled on the question. All right, Jake, are you ready for this week's question from Marty?
Yeah.
All right. During an accidental radiation leak that ended in an explosion, the accident seemingly damaged this person's brain, although it was later suggested that it was interpreted as brain damage, and in fact was his mind rewiring itself to accommodate a major bodily alteration. This person was one of the original core villains to ever appear in the Amazing Spider-Man comics, and is listed as IGN's number 28 in the top 100 comic book villains of all time. Who is this Marvel villain?
Can you share it so I can read it? Sorry. It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
An earful. Sorry for me.
So I will send that in our chat here, and then I will
Before you said it had anything to do with Spider-Man, I was thinking or you said villain and Spider-Man. Before you said those two words, I was immediately thinking Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen.
So was I when I first read this. So during an accidental radiation leak that
I could see it.
Well, I'm reading it for our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
During an accidental radiation leak that ended in an explosion, the accident seemingly damaged their brain, although it was later suggested that what was interpreted as brain damage was in fact his mind rewiring itself to accommodate major bodily alteration. They were one of the original core villains to ever appear in the Amazing Spider-Man comics and IGN's 28th top 100 comic villains of all time. Who is the Marvel villain?
Gotta be Electro.
Is that your final answer?
You look like it shouldn't be my final answer.
No, it was something that Marty, who's helping us clip this, asked me to start putting.
I think yeah, that's gonna be my final answer.
That is not correct.
Fuck!
Do you want to try again? This is from one of the original storylines or origin of the character.
It's gotta be Green Goblin. No?
No, it's
all right,
not.
I give up. I won't keep guessing. Who is it?
Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus.
Oh, fuck. That was in my head, but the only reason I didn't, and Sam Raimi may have fucked that up for me, is that it was a computer chip in the movies.
In like more recent iterations, like even the PS5 version of Doc Ock from Insomniac Games. Not the same, but yeah.
Fuck, man.
I
I
have to assume I'm not familiar with early iterations of Doc Ock, so I wouldn't have gotten that one either.
so I've read like the old school Spider-Man comics, but it was when I was a fucking kid. Um, so no. Yeah. Bummer. I thought I had that one in the bag.
Mm, that is a bummer.
So many
I wouldn't have gotten it
so
myself either.
many villains are radioactive something or the other, you know? Um, that pisses me off. Okay, whatever.
Genetically mutated because of
Yeah.
science gone wrong.
Yeah. How did you get your power? Fell into a radioactive super collider. Ah, shit. Super colliders.
Yeah. What about you? Oh, I fell into a vat of electric eels that were genetically modified. Shit. Got to look out for where you fall. I know, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. If no one got that reference, I mean, come on. Have you seen No Way Home? Because we're assuming you haven't. Let's talk about some nerd news, though.
Hmm.
Better luck in 2 weeks, Jake. Um, Not to be a dick about it,
I feel like
because
I haven't been faring well lately.
you have missed a couple
I
recently.
have not been doing well. I have not been doing well. I mean, neither of you, so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, I haven't been doing great either.
yeah.
It's pretty fair. Um, yeah, let's talk about some nerd news. Uh, the first one is Craven from Sony Pictures, or sorry, the Sony Cinematic Universe of Spider-Man adjacent peoples, whatever they call it. That's not the official name, but it's close to being that dumb. Has been delayed again. Um, oh shucks. It's gonna come out December of this year. They pushed back like 3 months. Oh no.
Just to really get the anticipation building for
I
it,
think that
you
they're
know.
just hoping that people just like to go to the movies around the holidays, so it'll still be in theaters around Christmas, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is all that's there. I guess I'll see it," to boost their box office earnings.
Right. We don't care.
Oh darn, it was delayed. What's next?
Um,
Sorry, that was
oh shit.
derivative.
No, you're good. Um, I thought you were like gonna say something, and then I was like, oh, you're actually asking me what's the uh
Yeah.
so apparently the other day, I don't know if it was actually the 25th, but it was the past couple days, was the day that the Flash went missing. And if you watched the Arrowverse CW Flash show or any of that, Barry Allen went missing on this day. Not today, but the 25th-ish. Which is just kind of cool because, we did the same thing with Back to the Future
Yeah.
when it was, it's just kind of cool. Like, oh, today is the day, you know. Um, what's next?
Where's where
That was
where's
it. That was all I had
where's my
on it.
goddamn hoverboard, Bruce?
I thought Grant Gustin was awesome
Yeah.
as the Flash, but that show along with the rest of the Arrowverse um got really dumb after a
After
while.
the first couple seasons of the Arrow, and after the first, I want to say 2 seasons of the Flash, they all just kind of blended together because then there's like 19 shows at once, and they constantly did crossovers, but like only one episode would air on each.
Day of the week.
Well, and for each show, and it's like
Yeah, exactly.
I
So it
haven't
was like,
watched the first 3 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow, and I don't give a shit to. But I have to watch some of it to understand what's going on. Like, eh. They
The
tried to
only
do like a
good, the only
cinematic
really,
thing.
there was only two crossovers that happened in those that fuck show that I've really really
You
enjoyed.
usually have to pay more to watch that, though.
One was Lucifer. They crossed over. Constantine crossed over with Lucifer.
Yeah,
Um,
wasn't that
the sh
the Infinite Crisis or whatever?
Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
One of those million crossovers, they crossed over with the show Lucifer, which was cool. But the best, obviously, if you've been listening, you know, I'm a huge Smallville fan, and they did cross over with Smallville. Very briefly, it wasn't as cool as you wanted it to be, but they did. So.
Yeah, I think that was the same crossover event.
That's why I watched. That's the only reason I know any of that because I stopped watching the Arrowverse a long time ago. I
Yeah.
never finished any of it. The only reason I watched any of that bullshit was because I knew that they were crossing over with Smallville, and I was like, I gotta watch that. And it was through that whole Crisis Infinity whatever crossover was probably about 6 hours of bullshit and about 2 minutes of Tom Welling and Erica Durance. And I was like, you motherfuckers. I watched all this for that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's that.
Speaking of a Superman show that it is technically still a CW show
Hmm.
that is good and touches base.
Was it CW?
It started out CW, yeah,
Oh, that makes sense because that cross that was part of that fuck show. It
yeah. They
crossed
were
over
also
with.
part of it, yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
the final season for Superman and Lois wrapped filming this past week, and I mean this show took me by surprise because I figured
Pretty
it was
good.
gonna be more of the Arrowverse fuckery.
I mean,
I mean, it's still a CW show, but so was Smallville. Um,
no, but I mean the Arrowverse fuckery is still kinda canon with this show. They
yeah,
reference it a lot. They didn't just forget about all the other people. Like there's not like cameos and stuff from any of them, but like they mentioned Kara and his cousin and like stuff like that.
yeah,
But, yeah.
that's right. You're right. Um, it's been a while since I've watched the earlier. Yeah, yeah. Um, but this show took me by surprise, and I really enjoy it. So I'm and with the James Gunn and Peter, whatever his last name is. Um,
Saffron? Is
I
it
was
not Saffron? It's
I was gonna
Peter.
say Safety, but who knows?
I don't fucking know.
But with Titans, they didn't. They had to do reshoots for like the last like episode to wrap it up very quickly, and it felt forced. Where
Mm,
this show is getting a full season to wrap it up, so
yeah.
you know that's nice because I've really enjoyed the show. It's it's been nice.
Most of it. There's some stuff.
It's still a CW show.
Yeah. I think one of the cool things that I could be wrong about this, and if anybody knows, please correct me. But I saw set photos from the final season, and um the not Jordan, but the other brother, is it
Jonathan.
Jonathan? Yeah. He took a season off for mental health issues, and I saw set photos for the last season, and the original kid is back.
Oh, I did not noticed that.
Again, they're just online set photos. It could be bullshit. I didn't look
I
into
mean,
it. I didn't read into it, but
the kid that
I
took over for him, other than his like hair
he
color,
had like brown hair. Yeah, he looked a lot like him, but
yeah,
I'm almost positive if the set photos that I saw for the final season are real, then the original kid is back. And that's awesome.
that is awesome. Also,
Yeah.
they
Not to shit on the other kid, like he did a good job filling those shoes, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he did a great job. Um, also, there's from those same set photos, there might be a time jump. It might just be for like the final episode. But seeing Steel, I can't
Mm.
remember the actual character or the actor's name, and I didn't pull it up beforehand, so I'm sorry.
Isn't
Um,
it like John Steele? Or I don't know. Keep going though.
it
Sorry.
might be. It probably is because of how arrogantly you said that. Uh,
I don't I could be wrong. I'll look it up. You keep talking.
but it shows, like a mural in Smallville where, it's him in his armor, but his helmet's off, but he's wearing Superman's cape or a cape. And they say, 25 years.
Oh, so close. John Irons.
Yep. Yep.
Anyways, yeah.
But there might
Well,
be a time jump. Who knows what it is, because with how the last season ended
yeah.
of Superman yeeting himself into space with Doomsday, who knows?
I would really, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna actually do it, I want to see the show go out with Superman dying. Kill him, have John take over.
Yeah,
And that would be why he's wearing the cape.
yeah. I
Smallville tried with the Doomsday thing, and they just fucking. God, I loved that season, but they just didn't. They just didn't do it.
yeah,
Zack Schneider killed it. That was the way, and that's literally how it happened in the comics. That
yeah.
was beautiful. That was beautiful. Other than Doomsday looking like a Ninja Turtle, but
Yeah, but have you seen Rebel Moon? Let's get off this topic because we can talk shit forever. It's what we do
Kiki
best.
Palmer has met with Marvel about playing a character. We don't know who this character is. It hasn't been even, they haven't released it. I know that we know that she wants to play Rogue, which fine, go for it.
Yeah,
Kiki
for
Palmer
it.
is so fine. You could cast her in any fucking character you want in X-Men, and I'd be like, bet.
Castor is beast for all I care.
uh, I think that we talked off camera a little bit. I don't think that we talked off camera. We did talk off camera a little bit about she would make a very good Storm.
Yeah.
Not just because, the color of her skin, but, kind of,
Well, and she's a talented actor.
and
Like
like
it's
that,
not just because she met
yeah,
with Marvel and she's
yeah.
you know
But also
looks the
that
way she does.
representation, so that would
Yeah,
be cool.
100%.
Um, but if she's gonna play Rogue, I'm for it. She can play fucking Jean Grey for all I care. Cast her now.
Yeah,
She's uh
so hot and incredibly talented. I can say that quiet
yes.
part out loud.
Yeah.
Um, so incredibly talented, and I mean, just make it happen.
Please. That's
Whoever it is.
probably why I want her to play Rogue is like put her in those tight pants. Let's go. Because she's so talented.
And I mean, let's not forget Halloween of last year when she cosplayed
That's where the
as.
fan cast came from.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's where she casted in my fan. What? That sounds weird.
Brrr. That was you putting your wiener into a fan. Brrr.
That's why I got smaller. Uh, you would not believe the hospital bills that I have because of that. Uh, sorry, I'm
I'm.
not. I'm not.
This
Uh,
is what we do. Move on though.
yeah. This past week also, I mean, it's been over a week, so if any of our listeners have social media, especially TikTok, uh, you've seen something about the fan made Spider Man horror short film spin off. So many words that they've used to avoid getting sued, called The Spider. It's an indie film. It stars what's the actor's name that plays
Chan
Coral?
Chandler Riggs.
Chandler Riggs. Um, it's a short film fan made horror adjacent Spider-Man movie because it wasn't that there was nothing all that scary about it. It's literally something that was pulled from the comics.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, but it's fan made and they spent all their money in the wrong places to make this movie happen. Sorry, short film happen.
Yeah, it's only about 10 minutes. You can check it out on YouTube. But
Yeah, it's like a really long movie trailer, especially with how quickly it jumps around
yeah.
in the
Well,
story.
you kind of I think the thing is like you already know, right? You already know like what happened because Spider-Man. Even though
Yeah.
they don't say Spider-Man, like you already know. So that's why they're able to like, you know, do that jump around as much as they do. But
Yeah, but from him being jumping from rooftops, being like, woo, woohoo, woo, because he does that a lot. To when the body gore and horror aspects happen, all happen in the last like 3 minutes.
no, one of them happens right away. And it is something I talked about with you
Yeah,
off camera.
go, because this was
I
cool thing.
remember the first time I saw, this is why, a little backstory here. The first time I saw The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, love Andrew Garfield.
Mm.
Uh, but the first movie when he's developing his webbing or whatever, I fucked up. Anyways, uh, when the webbing like explodes and it sticks to his face, he literally like pulls the webbing off and it doesn't. And I remember leaning over to whoever I was watching the movie with and being like, that shit would rip his face off. Uh, and then in this movie, it's not webbing, but it's like the sticky fingers thing. His crawling abilities. Somebody tries to help him up off the ground, or he just grabs the guy because he's stealing his wallet. I don't remember what it was. Uh, and his hands like stick to the guy's skin, and when he pulls his hand away, it rips the guy's skin off. And I was like, I fucking called that like 10 fucking years ago. That's awesome. So.
I
Very
was
cool
I was
attention to detail on
I
that
was
thing.
stoked on that
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, this actually might live up to the hype of Spider-Man, but like
Mm.
horror. And they do as much as they can throughout this very brief uh, short film of tying it to Spider-Man, without saying, without Uncle Ben saying, with great power comes great responsibility. He's like, what did we say about responsibility and power? And it's like, okay,
I don't even think he says power. He just says, "What did we say about, responsibility?"
yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah.
There is a part. Um, this was the big thing that just drove me bonkers. So, I saw some behind the scenes videos for this short film, and the person that actually like filmed it like has a really legit setup, lots of great technology to make things look very very good and professional. And this short film does. It looks well done, minus some prosthetics. But they, much like The Mandalorian, where instead of using green screens, they're like in this giant room that has a bunch of like high def LED or LCD screens that they use to project backgrounds, which I think is a really cool piece of technology because the actors can look around, they see where they are instead of just pretending.
Yeah.
But the filmmaker has this stuff, right? And there's a scene where Peter Parker is running on the rooftops as he's starting to learn more about his powers. He's running, jumping rooftop to rooftop, but you see him running, and it looks terrible. Not the background, not the blending, how he runs. And I saw behind the scenes, and it's because they had him jog in place, and then the screens, projected like a moving background. Also fine. But if you can afford to have this technology for these LCD surround backgrounds, you can afford a $400 treadmill that doesn't have a base in front of you and just have someone run on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
at least the motion of running is more believable instead of just seeing someone jog in place like it's eighth grade fucking gym class and then the city of New York's flowing in the background. Like, come
Right.
on.
I'm gonna give you shit a little bit about this because you wrote down Spider-Man versus Deadpool fight. Oh, I get it. Oh, fuck. Now I can't even give you shit about it. I hate you.
Yeah, let's move on from the spider. I mean, still go watch it. Support uh, filmmakers, like indie artists. Go watch it. Form your own opinions. But let's talk about
All right, we are gonna talk about Deadpool 3, also aka Deadpool and Wolverine, aka aka
Winnie the
I'm gonna need
Bish.
I was gonna say aka you need to come with me, Peanut. Uh uh
Oh, I almost spit out my drink.
if if you follow us on TikTok, we did make a small video about this trailer when it came out because we want to stay current with these things. If you don't follow us on TikTok, you should.
Or Instagram. We're bad in general with posting regularly, but we're trying.
Yeah.
On TikTok, it's at All Things Nerd Podcast. Instagram is at All Things Nerd Pod. But we're trying to be better about posting as things come out in real time because it's a weekly podcast. We record over the weekends. It comes out a couple days later, so a lot of times we're our episodes might seem like they're a week behind.
Yeah. So like if a trailer releases on a Monday, we don't talk about it till Saturday and then it doesn't come out till Wednesday. So if you want to hear us talk about it, whether it's, a minute or 3 minute clip or something like that, check out our Instagram and our TikTok, and we will try to do updates on those things.
We'll try and do better.
Yeah.
And until then, we're
Uh,
sorry.
but the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer did drop. I'm sure you've seen it all over TikTok and Instagram and blah 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 blah. And you've seen all the breakdowns already, but we're gonna talk about it anyway, so listen up. Uh um this is crazy. I guess the biggest thing is that we've known about is the comic accurate suit. Um but there's also just a shit ton of cameos, dead and alive. Um Shot for shot. I'll go first
Yeah.
with Ant-Man's giant corpse is the base for the new big bad guys in this, which is Nova, which we've been speculating for a while. Um, Give me another cameo.
Another cameo is we see Lady Deathstrike from X2
hmm
back.
We also see Toad from the very first X-Men.
Speaking of another villain from the very first X Men, we don't get a very clear look, but based on the trench coat and the hair and everything like that, it looks to be Sabretooth from the first X Men as well.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you would
There's
think.
We also know, I mean, we know this already, but Pyro from X2 as well
Yeah.
is back. Yeah.
Uh,
Keep going until
plus,
we can't go anymore. Keep
plus we
going.
we see not Exazel, Zazel,
hmm
from X Men First Class.
hmm
We see him there.
Yep. We also see speculated, rumored, but the Russian from The Punisher.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a big one. As well as the the ponytail kind of helps of Calypso from X Men 3.
hmm Ooh, okay, I'm not running out. I know there's more. Well, this isn't necessarily a person, but the car that Red Skull drives in Captain America is in this.
And it's modified, and it looks to have an Iron Man emblem on the front instead of the Hydra symbol.
hmm Keep going, keep going. We got this.
Um, well, in true Marvel fashion, based on how the scene where we see a lot of these hinted cameos, confirmed cameos, um, it looks like we're getting some Infinity War Hulk editing, where it looks like, or Spider-Man No Way Home editing, where it looks like people have been edited out of the scene because it looks very like it should be even with the number of people on each side,
Mm-hmm.
which leads us to believe because so far it's a bunch of villains, but they're in the void. It's the Marauders. Um, that we might see some like X-Men heroes that are banded with these villains to survive the void, which is pretty cool too.
You didn't give
Speculation.
me a name yet. You didn't give me a name yet. Let's go.
Well, speculation is that we might see a Gambit fan casted by Channing Tatum.
hmm
Um,
We get confirmed in the trailer Eliath from the Loki series.
yeah.
There's more. Keep
There.
going. You can do it.
Well, there's rumors that it's cleverly edited for the trailer where Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting in a line, but you see a female person fighting along their side. Rumors are that it might either be Daphne Keene as an older X-23, or it might be Elektra, um, which is
Both
pretty
have
cool.
been rumored to be back.
Yeah. If it
Uh,
if it is Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, I hope that we get Ben Affleck as Daredevil.
there are maybe fake set photos. I know I sent them to you a while back, but hopefully it's true. but James Marsden in a comic accurate Cyclops costume.
Be so rad. I mean, we're getting Logan,
Yeah,
Wolverine in his comic accurate. Also, for
yeah.
the people that are bitching that the people that bitched when we got a comic accurate Wolverine costume, but it had sleeves, and then the people that then also continued to bitch when we got comic accurate Wolverine sleeveless, but didn't have the shoulder pads. Uh, Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
This is
Seriously, shut the
fantastic.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
Nothing makes fans happy. Nothing makes fans happy. Unless you're real fans like us and we're just like
Oh my god,
drooling over
this is
this.
the closest we've gotten to what we grew up on. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And the changes that they made make sense because it's live action and not a cartoon. Oh my god. Yeah. Shut the fuck
But
up.
yeah, the cameos
Respectfully.
and rumors and whatever for this movie are insane. There are what do you call it? A sling ring portal is visible in the trailer. Who's on the other side of it? We don't fucking know. Haven't seen the movie yet.
The
But it
rumors
could be a lot of
behind
people.
that are so wild.
Yeah.
Like, did Cassandra Nova just steal a sling ring, um, from uh,
What?
f- from a variant? Where does that portal go to? Does that go to the MCU? There's been some. What would be funny, but on brand, is that they go through the portal and then they're at the Battle of New York in Endgame, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck that," and they turn around. Um, like a lot of that shit could possibly happen.
A really cool one that I read, I didn't come up with it myself, but um, is that we know that Thanos has a three fucking thing scar across his face. He's had it since we've been introduced to Thanos.
Mm.
We've never been told why. Wolverine has three claws. It would be cool if this version of Wolverine has faced Thanos because this is this Wolverine has his world has failed. He failed the X-Men. The X-Men are all dead. The people on his so I don't know if he is in a different timeline because in the world that he's in, there are people there, but and it doesn't seem like a dystopian whatever. So I don't know if maybe he's not where he was in his world. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm not speaking very well, but
Yeah.
so maybe he's traveled to other worlds before and faced Thanos, and that's why Thanos has those three scars across his face.
Oh, that's crazy that you say that because I read earlier today. Obviously, with the fan theory that you're talking about of Thanos with the three scars,
Mm,
that Josh Brolin will be coming back
hmm
to do something, but he also played Cable,
hmm
so he could also transverse some of those timelines, uh, and do that. So he could be playing both Cable and a version of Thanos, which would be
Or at
pretty
least
rad.
there's a fucking joke to be made there.
Oh, I'm sure.
At the very
I
least.
mean,
Yeah.
they already did it in Deadpool 2. Why not double down?
Yeah.
Um, but
Love it.
yeah,
This song playing Madonna. I mean, ah, God damn it.
mm.
I am so stoked for this movie. And it's in June, July, June, July. It's a
Yes.
J month.
J-
It's soon. It's very soon.
Is it the Jason part of the month or just a J month? You know?
It's a J month. I don't know, but it's very, very soon. And I cannot fucking wait. I'm really hoping this is also gonna set up the we've already talked about this before seeing the trailer. This is going to set up Secret Wars because it's going to introduce all of the other timelines. Um,
Yeah.
so fucking let's fucking go as Wolverine and Deadpool, let's say.
Yeah. Also, the amount of f bombs in trailer two, so ready for it. Like
Lots of go fuck yourselves.
it's what these characters should be saying, and I'm glad that Marvel isn't being like, man, let's shy away from it. Because even in the trailer, there's blood splatter.
Oh yeah. Lots of CGI blood. We like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's better than murder. Um, Looking at you, all you John Wayne movies. Yeah, cowboy. Um, yeah, I'm stoked on this.
It's got me
Do,
hyped up for
do
sure.
you want to talk about the comparison of the fight from Spider-Man 1 versus Deadpool? Okay, cool.
You just did. You just did.
Well, yeah, but we don't have to go in depth. Some of the fight choreography looks familiar. I'm. It might be an accident. It might be intentional. Um, cool. Want to know what is super cool and intentional is like taking care of your energy levels. But that was a stretch. I'm so sorry. Check
I
out.
I fucking I fucking volleyed you, man. I gave you the
You did?
layup.
I did not catch that one.
I was like I was like, yeah, I'm hyped about this, and I thought you were gonna be like, you know what
Uh,
else hypes me up? But that's okay. We're okay.
so you know what else hypes me up is Ray's energy drinks. It's 0 calories, 0 sugar, zero crash. If you don't like energy drinks, that's totally fine. They have a lot more else to choose from protein packed desserts, and you guys know the drill. Listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Knuckles. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right. We are gonna talk about Knuckles, which is now streaming on Paramount Plus. I think they episode dump? They did the whole thing,
They
right?
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I only watched the first episode so far. Um, it is all of the same actors and actresses. The only person missing is James Marsden. They do make reference of him though, so
Yeah.
hopefully he'll be back later
He's
on.
on vacation.
Yeah.
Or he's on
Hopefully
a
we'll
case or something. Yeah.
we know that there's a third movie coming out, so hopefully he'll be back for the movie at least. Um, but yeah,
I,
we
I'm
got the
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sure that the reason why he's not in this, um, well, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that the reason that he's not in this is while this was being filmed, he was, I don't know, maybe doing some on set film work for like Deadpool and Wolverine.
that would be amazing.
I'd hope so.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm sure that they like
Um,
film like 100 yards apart though, so
yeah.
we'll see.
But all the voice actors are the same. Idris Elba and fuck,
Ben's
what's his name?
Ben.
Ben Schw No,
Is
not
it?
Schwartz. Is it Schwartz?
I was gonna say Sh- Schwartzman.
Swartzen. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Right?
I
Are you
don't know.
right?
I'm looking it up right now because that also seems like Jason Schwartzman. Uh,
Oh shit, who does the voice for the Spot? I think it's Ben Schwartz.
that sounds more accurate. It is just Ben Schwartz.
Yeah. The guy you're talking about does the voice for the Spot in Across the Spider or into the Across the Spider-Verse.
Jason
Jason
Schwartzman. Yeah,
Schwartzman, yeah.
yeah.
You fuckers, get your names right. Uh but anyways, yeah, it's all the same people. So if you're like, I don't want to watch a TV series based on a movie, it is canon and it is leading into the third movie, which I love the movies.
I do
They're
too.
fun.
Yeah.
I grew up on those video games, Sega Genesis. I
Mm.
mean, I remember when that shit came out. I'm that old. Uh,
I remember because my parents wouldn't buy me every video game console that I wanted. Uh, so my neighbor and I, we would trade. He would borrow my PlayStation. I would take the Dreamcast. Uh, so then I could, or the Genesis, whatever game, you know.
yeah.
Um, and then we both ended up with Xboxes because we wanted to play games together. Uh, but we used to like trade so I could play the Sonic games and stuff.
My mom didn't buy us video game consoles,
Well,
but
because it's against God. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no, we lived in a trailer. She couldn't afford it.
Oh, you made it somehow more sad.
That was the real answer, though.
I
Um,
know. I know.
but luckily for my brother and I, we would go on the weekends to my cousin's house. You might know him. His name is Marty. He works over at digicatTech.com.
Yeah, there we
Uh,
go. You got it.
I did. I did. I paused, but I got it. But that is my cousin. He is my real life older brother. I swear. I swear. He's more of a brother to me than my actual brother. And we used to go over there, and he had all the cool shit. So we always played it over there. It was a lot of fun. But yeah. Anyways, the show. That's what we're talking about here,
Yeah.
not my sad life story.
Yeah.
Um,
We can't really bill you $150 an hour for this, bud.
the show's pretty good. I only watched the first episode. I don't know how far you got,
I
but
only watched the first episode because that's what we were gonna talk about. I had to like stop myself from continuing because the first episode ends on a cliffhanger.
mhm. Did you notice that that guy, do you recognize him? Don't look it up. Do not look it up.
No,
You're looking it up.
we talked about this off camera, and uh, for one of the villains,
No, no, no. Oh no, no.
Oh.
The guy that Knuckles is like
oh,
partnering with.
well, first off, he is one of James Marsden's partners in the first film,
Yeah,
the
he's like
first
his
Sonic,
deputy.
but he was in Iron Man 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't.
yeah. He's
Mom,
the
something amazing is happening.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if you can tell this, but I've kind of like styled my entire look after you, and
Yeah.
not to be weird, but boom.
Bam. Hispanic Scapeo. Oh wait, is that supposed to be me?
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, it's from Iron Man 3. He's the random news anchor.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, also where you were going.
Yeah, I'm looking that all up, so
But
just so I
Kid-
have a full cast
Where
list, but
what you thought I was talking about, which we did talk about off camera, is Kid Cudi
yeah.
is in this show. If you don't know who Kid Cudi is, where have you been?
If you don't
Lose
know
my
who
number.
if you don't know who Kid Cudi is and you're listening to this, we're gonna pull early 2000s uh, Disney Channel and say, to access our website, you have to have your parents' permission. Uh, yeah, Kid Cudi.
I'm in
Did
the
you?
pursuit of happiness, and I
I
know.
know.
Yeah, that's who that
Did
is.
you also? Rory McCann is in this. He played the Hound in Game of Thrones. He's the one who's developing the weapons.
I was putting laundry. If I'm being real honest, I had my kid who was very awake, and I was putting laundry away at the same time while I had it
Mm.
on. So I was watching it, but not
Yeah,
as closely as I maybe
it's a
could have been.
very it's like a minute and a half scene, so
Oh.
you literally could have let it play, and
I mean, if his face isn't fucked up, who's gonna recognize him?
that's kind of just his face.
The burns, you butthead.
I was just trying to make you feel like a dick about it. But yeah, the Hound is also in this, which is really cool.
Mm.
I was trying to look up. Oh, uh, Adam Pally, who plays Wade, who is
Mm.
also in Iron Man 3. That's why I was looking up, and then I saw Rory McCann. I was like, oh yeah, I should bring that up.
Jim Carrey is in it, but it's a flashback from a movie from the previous movie. But we know that Jim Carrey is in the third movie, so I am it's kind of cool.
I'm sure that how this season ends allows for
Hmm. It's gonna
Robotnik
lead
to
into the next movie
yeah
for sure.
for Robotnik to return.
Yeah, and they said I read they said I don't know who they said would be, but I read
Yeah.
that we'll have a accurate Robotnik by the time that for the third movie. So it won't be a
Oh,
skinny Jim Carrey. It'll be a fat Jim Carrey, which is going to be
fat
awesome.
fat Jim Carrey needing robotics or Robotniks. Oh, to move
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Um,
From what I've seen so far, I like it. I will continue watching it. We probably won't spend a ton of time on it. They're only half-hour episodes, so it's hard to like pull a lot from that, but it's fun.
I
It
mean,
has the same feel as the
we also
movies.
stretched with Fallout these past 3 weeks because it
Yeah,
was an episode dump just like what this is.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, because there's no way we're gonna be able to talk about a half-hour episode every week. We're gonna watch the shit out of this. There are movies coming out. There's a ton of movies. We got Boy Kills World, which we meant to watch this week, but I was too busy with work and I couldn't get away. So we will see that. We have fucking what was it, May 2nd? Oh, The Fall Guy comes
yeah, it
out.
comes out next
I don't
weekend.
give a shit that it's a rom-com. I love Ryan Gosling. I love Emily Blunt, and
I
it looks funny as hell.
also shut the fuck up. Who doesn't love a good rom com?
I love
A
rom-coms.
good rom
Other
com.
people don't love rom-coms. I like the shitty rom-coms too. I really do. It doesn't matter.
What happens in Vegas with Cameron Diaz and Ashton? We don't want to support him anymore because he turned out to be kind of a liar.
Good
Um,
movie.
yeah, great. Yeah, fucking hilarious rom com. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't want to. I had to stop myself from saying great movie because it's not a great movie, but it's a
But
fun rom com.
and then May 10th, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, our work is cut out for us.
Yeah.
Uh, so we're gonna have to really up our game on May 10th. What? Oh, you
Uh,
looked like you were like, it doesn't come out on May 10th. And I was like, yes,
no,
it does.
I'm pretty sure that you're accurate. I tried to push my phone as far out of screen as possible while keeping it on a charger
Yeah.
allowed, and then it went off, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that's May. And then June, we have maybe Deadpool, Wolverine. We don't,
Uh,
it's one of the J months. But
I have
we
that pulled
really,
up. I can look that up. But we
we
do
really have a
we have the boys
ton.
for
The
sure.
Boys coming out. I mean, oh my God. You guys, the nerd stuff in
Palpable.
is in full swing. Yeah. So
That too.
we'll be here for all of it.
On
And
July 20th, end of July.
July. Oh, you fuckers.
End of July.
Uh
Yeah.
But like we
June.
said, check out our TikTok and our Instagram, and we will try to um, talk about these things as they're happening because our um, podcast is a weekly podcast, and sometimes we talk about things, days after they come out. So check us out on social media in general, and we'll
Yeah.
be more um, frequent with that stuff. So,
And sometimes along those same lines, sometimes we talk about something and then or we record and then something else comes out in between recording and posting.
mhm,
We try and be on a decent turnaround time.
yeah,
3 days. That's not bad, but
yeah.
a lot can happen in 3 days. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
check us
again,
out. Like, follow, subscribe.
sorry,
Do
I
all
didn't mean
that.
to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But on our social media, it's going to be short clips where we just kind of run it down real fast. But if you want to get a more in-depth discussion about it, follow us here.
Yeah, and
That's
if we don't go as in depth on something that you think is important, let us know because we will. This is what we love to do. We kind of live for this. Um, I mean, we have our own lives, but like, we love doing this. So, yeah, let's go ahead and close out this episode, shall we?
But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you have?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
awesome, cool. Let me talk about what I have. No, just X-Men '97. Uh, I've been watching that and trying to catch up on Dimension 20, uh, D&D stuff, listening to some Critical Role, uh, more D&D stuff. But the thing that I think that we uh, share this week is Under the Bridge. You you were telling me about it. I started watching it, and then I got caught up. And then the new episode this week. This show, I mean, sad because it's based on a true story and it's based on a book based on a true story. The show's so good.
Yeah.
It definitely resonates and connects to why we both loved Under the Banner of Heaven.
It really makes you want to
Punch a teenage girl in the
punch a
face.
teenage girl in the face.
Oh my god.
It's so,
One
oh,
one of the
it's
main girls, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go meet John Gotti," and it's based during a point in time where she's like, "You're gonna take me to New York so I can meet John Gotti." At a period of time where John Gotti was in prison in Colorado, uh,
she's a
and
teenager.
she's just. But they held a candlelight vigil and a Ouija board session for the death of Biggie, which
A very
happened
teenage thing to do.
during that same week, but she doesn't know that John Gotti's in prison. Like
Sweet teenager.
the wrong kind of dumb is. I mean, praise to the actor that's playing this teenage girl, uh, because she makes her very punchable.
That is literally what Nicole had said to me when we were watching it. I was like, fucking hate this bitch. And Nicole's like, then she's doing a good job of acting. And I was like, that's not the kind of perspective I want right now, babe. Like,
I need
You're
you
right
on.
though. She's so right
I
though.
need
Like,
you on my team right now.
yeah.
Like
But she's so
we're gonna
right. That is
punch this person.
that girl, I don't know what her name is. But yeah, she does a really good job of being a punchable teen. Um, it's crazy. Is that all you have for
X
honorable
X Men
mentions?
'97, that and a bunch of D&D actual play. Yeah.
Okay. I had well, obviously Under the Bridge. Um, we also watched Arthur the King, which is also based on a true story about a dog that follows a like I don't know if it's like a triathlon or whatever the fuck you want to call it, starring Mark Wahlberg,
It's
Cindy
like The
Lou.
Amazing Race, but
Yeah. But it's based on a true story, and the weird part about it, I guess the only part about it that like really for me was like, okay, that is strange, is that the people that the movie is based on, they're biking, climbing mountains, swimming, kayaking, like doing all this crazy shit, zip lining, and the dog keeps like up with them somehow throughout the whole thing. And they're like, how the fuck is this dog here? And it's a good fucking question because how? They were like
yeah.
zip lining between like mountains and shit. Like, how the fuck did this dog keep finding them and like keeping up with them? It's insane. It was a really heartwarming story. Really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I love dogs, and it has a spoiler alert, has a happy ending, not like most dog movies do.
Looking at
Um,
you, me and my dog Skip.
um, Sugar.
Marley, me. What?
We watched the new episode of Sugar, which is Colin Farrell's new show on Apple TV. I fucking love this show, and I fucking love Colin Farrell. Just check it out. I don't want to spoil anything about it because it's a really gritty, like crime show, but just watch it. Just take my word for it
It
and fucking
has
go
some
watch it.
aspects of like noir
Yeah.
detective
Well, it's got the whole like
films.
where they're like narrating themselves. Like it's Colin Farrell like narrating
Yeah.
himself through the show, which is very old school like noir detective, like yeah. Very
Yeah.
Dick Tracy kind of,
Oh, what a
you
good
know?
reference.
You
Yeah.
know Dick Tracy? Are you even old enough to know Dick Tracy? That's
Uh
crazy.
my parents paid for cable. I had Nick at Night. Go fuck
Dude,
yourself.
I'm not talking the cartoon, you fool. I'm talking about the old
I'm the
school
black and white
Tracy.
detective.
You
Yeah.
watch Dick Tracy? Oh, dude, I used to watch that shit with my mom, dude. That's crazy that you know that.
I didn't watch it religiously because at
I
that point in time
loved Dick Tracy.
I was young and I was like, "Oh, it's in black and white. I don't care about this." But now I'm like,
They
I
even
want to
made
go
like
back.
like a early, it had to have been late 80s, early 90s. They even made a movie
Ooh.
in color,
I
not obviously, but yeah, they even made a
I
movie back in
gotta
the day.
I gotta go back and
He were I mean, for those of you that are under the age of 30, Dick Tracy was a detective, private detective, but he wore like a yellow top hat and a yellow trench coat. Uh, anyways, whatever. Yeah, it has that
if
feel
he
to
had a
it.
pet chimp, his name would be George.
Shut the
Uh,
fuck up.
I had to. No, but the show is right. I'm a couple of episodes behind. I didn't watch uh, the episode that came out late last week or this week's,
Yeah.
but I will be catching up because I also am really enjoying the show.
And the last one we had, we watched Venom. Unfortunately, Nicole hasn't seen. Not unfortunately that not it's not unfortunate that she hasn't seen it. Unfortunate that we had to watch it uh
There you go.
because apparently those movies are going to become canon to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Disney universe. Um not real stoked on that. The I love Tom Hardy, don't get me wrong, but these
Yeah,
movies are
fantastic
hot
actor.
trash. Hot trash.
Also accurate.
They're so bad. And I'm really annoyed that Nicole liked the first one because we watched it and she was like, "Why do you hate that so much?" I thought it was pretty good. And I was like,
Because you don't know.
"What do you
She
mean?
she doesn't
What
know.
do you mean?"
Yeah. Because
Anyways,
we talked about it years ago, and I was like, I didn't hate the first one, and then you're like, watch it again, and then I did, and I was like, yeah, this sucked.
the elements are all there for it to be good.
Except
The
for the one
CGI,
thing that makes it good, which is
yeah,
a Spider-Man tie-in.
yeah, you
It's
have
it's a
the
Spider-Man
CGI.
villain,
The CGI is great. You have Tom Hardy, who is a fantastic actor
Michelle
playing the
Williams.
character. The action sequences are over the top and fantastic. The dialogue and the story ruin everything. And you're like, okay, maybe like after the fans like complained about it after the first movie, you would like fix it in the second movie.
They
No,
doubled down.
it's worse.
They doubled.
How
The
how
best
they
part
squeezed the third movie out of this, I have no fucking idea.
the best part of us seeing Venom 2 in theaters in New York City was when we went to Applebee's because that was the only place open that early in the day to get a Bloody Mary, um, and seeing Crackhead Elmo. That was the best
Crackhead
part.
Elmo was awesome.
That was the best part of Venom 2 was our
There
unique experience of Crackhead Elmo.
and I was so hungover while we were watching Venom 2 that multiple times during the movie because we sat in like the front like balcony row where there's like the bar and like a metal bar in front of you. Uh there were multiple times in the movie where I almost jumped to that bar and ran to the bathroom because I thought I was gonna throw up.
Oh,
Thanks,
good
New York.
good times. Uh, your streets smell like piss. Uh, well, if you like this show and us talking about the 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 pea scented New York streets of Times Square, um, go go follow us, please. Like we think we're funny. Uh, Yeah, like, share, and subscribe wherever you find us. It really does help. If you want to support us on a higher level, uh, it'd be super cool if you gave us your money. Um, you get some exclusive merch, behind the scenes, direct access to Jake and myself. If you don't want to do the buy me a coffee, which is buymeacoffee.com/all things nerd, just buy stuff off of our website at allthingsnerdpod.com, which is pretty rad. Thank you, Marty, over at Digicat Tech, for setting this up and going above and beyond, which is what he's just so good at doing, us over delivering on that stuff. If you don't want to do that, I mean, kind of lame, um, but we get it. Uh, at the end of the day, we appreciate you all. We love you all, and thank you so much for listening.
Oh shit, hold on.
Uh, I mean, I can talk about our other
Nope, we're good.
podcast. Okay, cool. This has been the All Things Nerd podcast.